Fight Club.
Head coach.
Head Coach Fight Club. It is Head Coach Fight Club time. We are in the Elite 8 of Head Coach Fight Club. And today's matchups, gentlemen, may not be the sexiest pick on paper, but it does not matter because anything can happen once you get into the top tier part of the bracket of Head Coach Fight Club. So what we have going on today is Sean McVay, winners of 3 in a row, representing the Los Angeles Rams against the bald-headed beauty himself, Robert Saleh of the New York Jets. He is 4-2 with a distinct weight advantage over Sean McVay.
Distinct look in his eye.
Oh, yeah, he has a killer look in his eye. And we have, there we go. Well, we'll bring this back up. These two men will be meeting in a fight.
I just flashed up there quick. No one will take the time to examine that it's really quickly and cheaply made.
That's fair enough. Now, this is a very... this looks like on paper it's going to be really lopsided, but we don't know. You know who does know, though, is the wheel. And so I will spin the wheel to let the audience at home know what we have going on today. There we go.
Big money, no Emmys, no Emmys, no Emmys. Woo!
We have an anime style, cartoon style, fictional, all rules, no rules goes type of fight. Here we are, gentlemen. I am going to lead things off. I hope that your imaginations are pre-lubed and ready to go to fire off some great hypothetical fights here. Gentlemen, as I said, I'm going to lead this off, and I'm going to go into the well of one of my favorite and very not talked about animes of all time. This is a show that was called Bento. Bento just being lunchbox in Japanese. And it's a series about a bunch of people who go to a grocery store when they have a sale going on. And it's very just incredible sales, like 90% off these incredibly handcrafted lunchboxes or meals. And people going all out brawls in these grocery stores to determine who gets to take this home with them. And so
it's like a literal Hunger Games.
It's like a literal Hunger Games. So this is what I'm gonna and listen. There's no like super powered bullshit in this one. It's just straight hands with a little bit of imagination thrown in there. All right. So in this case, Robert Saleh, Sean McVay, they actually find themselves dropped off in the middle of Tokyo, Japan, and they meet at a grocery store, and they see something that they've never seen before. Grade A5 Wagyu beef, 90% off. All right, 90% off. And these two gentlemen lock eyes, and they know there's just one box left. They see the people around them, they nod, and they agree. Before that they handle business with each other, they're going to handle their business with the rest of the crowd. So in this fight, Sean McVay is out here throwing flying roundhouse kicks. He breaks a mop that just so happens to be sold next to the food in half and just starts clubbing people right in the face. Just stop, stop, stop. Robert Saleh, he's old school. He's old fashioned. He just uses his knuckles and that giant chrome of his, that chrome dome of his, starts headbutting people straight into the ground like a fucking ram. Ironically enough, he's going up against the Rams head coach. Starts throwing elbows to the elderly, grabs a small child, and throws that child into another group of small children to eliminate them.
Should have thrown a bigger person at the small children. It's quicker, more efficient job.
The small child was just right there,
Yeah.
Oh, but speaking of a large person, in comes a championship sumo wrestler, and he's locking eyes with Robert Saleh. Robert Saleh immediately runs up against the wall like it's the Matrix, jumps off and goes for a spinning roundhouse kick right to the dome of the sumo guy. The sumo guy shakes it off, but who is behind the sumo wrestler other than Sean McVay, who has now gotten his hands on some cutlery and just stabs the sumo guy right in the skull with some forks, and then goes for a low blow. And then here comes Robert Saleh, grabbing air yet again, and takes off for a diving headbutt, knocking the sumo wrestler down. The dust is settled, the air is clear, and the area is free of any and all other potential combatants who can get in the way of these two men and their Wagyu beef. So here we go. Robert Saleh looks at Sean McVay. Sean McVay looks at Robert Saleh, and they both give cringy anime monologues that last way longer than they should. They both are saying, hey, I deserve this for this reason. And there's a little store worker right there just cringing like, these are grown men. Why are they talking like this? Just fucking fight already. And that's what happens. All right. Robert Saleh kicks up some broken grocery baskets, right? And just chucks them right at Sean McVay. Sean McVay still has one of the broken mop sticks in his hands, deflects it. But as he deflects it, he sees a charging bull that is Robert Saleh going in head first, a headbutt right into his gut. Blood just spills out of Sean McVay, and he's breathing in deep and heavy. He's like, oh, that's a good shot you got in there.
Ew.
Sean McVay, what does he do? He kicks his shoe up in the air. Robert Saleh just looks at it, thinking it might be a surprise attack from above. Nope. It's an eye poke right into Robert Saleh. It's just screaming at him. It's like calling him a coward. Why the hell would you do such a cheap trick? And he's like, anything for my Wagyu beef. And then Robert Saleh summons all the power of his ancestors and channels it straight into his forehead. As he's charging up, Sean McVay, huh?
The Egyptian guy is that?
I don't know. I forget what he is. But he charges up all of the power of his ancestry into his forehead. Sean McVay is going, what? And then as quickly as this fight began, it ends with Robert Saleh going straight into a magnificent headbutt. Robert Saleh knocks out Sean McVay, whose entire spine gets broken by this attack. He goes, he grabs that Wagyu beef, and he pays for it and enjoys it at home. Robert Saleh is the winner in my style scenario. I'm going to pass this next off. I'm going to give you guys a curveball. Bethke, I want to hear what you have to say.
All right. I'm ready. So in this world, we're going to also go into the niche world of anime and hit one that almost no one's watched. Dragon Ball Z. Very, very, very little known anime.
Such a hipster pick here.
There's decisions to be made in all of this. For me, I just really wanted to emphasize a couple of key points with this decision, the way I saw it. I see Robert Saleh as a giant, strong competitor, capable of fighting in multiple ways of combat. When I see Sean McVay, I see a little bit.
That Dosler.
So, who could I better compare him to than Krillin of the Dragon Ball universe?
You're comparing Sean McVay to Krillin?
Sean McVay's a noble guy. He's a noble guy, and he'd fall on the sword for his people.
Okay.
But it's got to be a small sword.
Huh?
So it's got to be a small sword.
You gotta be a small sword. Well, he can fall on a big sword. It just might take his whole body up.
You gotta get up.
Yeah, you might have to throw him over on the sword.
They're the exact same height.
So essentially, Robert Saleh wants to eliminate the entire Sean McVay coaching tree.
Ooh.
Matt LaFleur, Zach Taylor, Brandon Staley, Kevin O'Connell, Raheem Morris, all of them got to go.
You gotta go.
Sean McVay will not let that happen. He said, I will stand up. You run away. They run away. They scatter like cowards. McVay stands up to fight. He charges the great and powerful Robert Saleh. Robert Saleh flexes out of his way, turns around, looks at him, zaps him into a chocolate bar, and eats him. Dead.
I realized this was. Oh my god.
A little delicious in dungeon there. Yeah.
And that is how Majin Buu killed Krillin in Dragon Ball Z.
That is true. He killed a lot of people by just turning them into chocolate and eating them.
Oh,
Wow. Okay. That was not where I expected that to go at all.
He needed to go.
I guess I don't matter.
Caesar was like, I'm gonna throw a curveball. I'm like, yeah, you are, but not at me.
Gotta go. Well, gotta go with what I've come up with here because let's see. So I don't know. There's this little tiny show called My Hero Academia that some people might have heard of, and so I see these guys as two of these characters. Sean McVay, a little more of Yuga Iowama. Is that how to pronounce it?
Ayahuasca.
Guy with a laser cannon for a belly, but he's also like super vain and always wants attention and everyone to look at him. Sean McVay. Robert Saleh is more Katsuki. He's just nose to the grindstone. I want to be the best wild man. I'm going to kill everything in my path to be better than everyone. Yeah, and so it's not hard to see where this is going. Kind of follows similar storyline to what the both of you did, where basically Robert Saleh beats the ever-loving crap out of Sean McVay.
Almost like Sean McVay should have never been in this fight.
And yeah, so now he's gonna be officially gone because one laser cannon doesn't defeat the best all-around fighter in the game.
All right. Well, there we go, gentlemen. It appears that we have our first person advancing towards the final four of the Head Coach Fight Club. Patrick, show us our winner, Robert Saleh, on the screen.
You did it.
We did it.
The guy who I forgot to get a graphic for the first time we did this, he's made it all the way to the Elite Eight.
He's doing it to spite you, Patrick.
That's fine.
He was destined for greatn't.
He might be the most forgot about coach in the country outside of maybe whoever the Panthers, Canales.
Plus, I can't get rid of the Jets. There's so much great stuff we can do with the Jets. There's a lot to go on with him.
I mean, who did you replace? Adam Gase. So it's like,
well, Adam Gase looked terrifying. Adam Gase looked like a documentary that you watch about a serial killer.
That's not inaccurate. That's a pretty spot on.
His eyes are too open at all times.
That's the cocaine.
Not